The stage is set here for the 2025 CAA Baseball Championships on the campus of the College of Charleston, and the Cougs start things off here today in the 4 versus 5 matchup against the number 5 William and Mary Tribe. Griffin Della Penna here with you alongside Ty Comer. And Ty, this is a very interesting matchup between these two teams, and when we take a look at the Credit Union 1 matchup summary for this 4 versus 5 matchup, it's going to be interesting to see who will play that Northeastern game or against UNCW tomorrow.
Yeah, and you want to do everything in your power to avoid that Northeastern ball club. What a ball club we have that we will see not until tomorrow, but yeah, definitely trying to avoid that 45-9 ball club. They've won 41 out of their last 45 games. So pretty solid team there that you want to try and avoid, and obviously the seedings will determine that, but especially in tournament play, you want to get off to the right start.
Now we'll take a look at our offensive comparison between these two teams. And Ty, we're seeing two of the best offenses in the conference on display here today.
Yeah, a little bit of a switch up for William and Mary. Under Coach McCray in years past, they've really been a defensive ball club that really focused on pitching. Their ERA was usually really low, but now best average in the conference. We'll talk about that ERA here in a second. But College of Charleston right there at number 2, and look at those stolen bases. 107 stolen bags for the College of Charleston. They've always liked to run here on this turf, and we'll see that probably again today.
And the biggest difference between these two ball clubs is actually on the opposite side. Pitching stats not in favor of the Tribe, where that could be the advantage here today for Charleston.
Yeah, definitely. The 4.85 versus an 8.79. I think you said before we got on the broadcast here that 278 in Division I baseball for ERA. Not going to win you a whole lot of ball games. Have also made 100 errors this year. Never want to see that number in triple digits either. But they'll have to kind of try and figure that out today. Try and slow down College of Charleston in some way in order to flip the script on what was a 2 out of 3 series win for College of Charleston this year.
We are just minutes away from first pitch here at Patriots Point, and we'll step aside here before we bring you lineups and pitchers and then first pitch right when we come back. Both of these programs are raring to go. Jake Brink on the bump for Charleston, facing the top batting average, really Ty across the board. Ben Parker, the season that he has had, his first pitch is at 12:04 here at Patriots Point. Just a remarkable season for the fifth year.
Yeah, you hit over 400. I think that's doing okay. But you also add in 11 home runs. You get a pretty solid slugging percentage of 698 as well to go along with that.
So William and Mary team that hit .313 as a squad, and you have your top two hitters, .413 for Parker, and on deck Lucas Carmichael hitting .365. So a lot of production early on in the lineup for the Tribe. Here's the 2-0 from Brink, and that one is tapped away foul.
Yeah, then you add in the 3-hole hitter, Christian Rush. He's hitting .298, but he's hit 14 bombs. So the top 3 hitters, William and Mary, 37 home runs. That's accounting for over 2/3 of their team home runs. So a lot of production up top, as you mentioned.
Another pitch home. That one plunks Ben Parker, so he'll get the free pass. That is the 12th time this season that he's been hit by a pitch. Any way on for this William & Mary Tribe team that, again, due to some of those pitching inadequacies at points, they really need to pour on runs any chance they can.
Absolutely, and College of Charleston is a solid team, ERA 4.85. They're gonna pitch it well. So, like you said, again, any opportunity that they get, they should definitely take and run with.
There's Lucas Carmichael, the senior left fielder. He's really seen a lot of production in terms of power. Last season, only had 5 home runs. This year, much different story, accounting for 12, and a lot of them coming in conference play, starting to play his best baseball at the right time as he's now down in the count 0-1. A little bit of speed with Parker. That one popped in the air. Shaded over the third baseman. Fielding is Penfield, and he'll make a play.
A nice high fly ball, but another product of playing at home. Probably pretty comfortable over there for Penfield. Different dimensions here, so that's another thing that maybe you keep an eye out for as this tournament progresses. That wall in left field is an interesting little nook.
Here's Christian Rush. Ty just mentioned his 14 home runs was tied for 3rd in the conference, and Jake Brink has to be very weary at first base. Ben Parker 16 for 20 in his stolen base opportunities. Not a team that likes to run a whole lot. Dead last with only 57 stolen bags, but Parker having a large portion of those. Easy secondary rig and off-speed pitch poured in for a strike. Rush hitting just a 298 average, so a few ticks under 300. Played in every single game this year for William & Mary. Swung on and missed. Off speed looking really good for Jake Brink. And interesting to see that he plunked a batter the first man that he faced, because Charleston has really eliminated walks, only averaging 4 per 9 as a staff. That is 4th in the country.
Yeah, that's maximizing your abilities there. You're not putting people on with free passes. Helps the defense. Plus, it keeps them engaged as well. If you're standing out there in the field and your pitcher's walking a bunch of batters and you're going full counts and not a lot of action's happening, sometimes it can get you on your heels as an infielder.
Try the 1-2 now from Brink. He's really went to the well with the off-speed. Now goes straight fastball, and Rush still getting a piece of it.
Yeah, it's good job by Christian Rush there at just staying alive. As you mentioned, he's been featuring those off-speed pitches pretty heavily, has Brink, and so then he tries to speed him up right there. After a bunch of breaking pitches in a row, that fastball can look like a lot harder than what it actually is, but good job from Rush at fouling it off.
There's a strikeout there, first of the day for Jake Brink and the 55th of the season for Christian Rush, and there's a big second out for the Cougs.
Yeah, and that's where that fastball, the pitch before, just kind of plants a little bit of seed of doubt in the hitter's mind. Then he goes back to the off-speed pitch here. He gets him out in front right there. You can see it drops off the table. Rush not able to catch a piece.
One of the top freshmen in the entire conference, third baseman Jamie Laskowski, hit .357 in a very productive season where he also turned it on in conference play, almost hitting .400 in CAA games. Long wait from Brink. First pitch he sees is outside.
Yeah, you get to the 4-hole here in William & Mary, and your home run production drops off a bit, but your run producing does not. He still drove in 41 runs for the Tribe. A good left-handed bat here to have in the 4-hole.
Laskowski, 74 hits this year. That was 5th in the country in terms of first-year players. So came on, and early on, the Tribe trusted him, and Coach McCoy, also in his first year, said, hey, you're going to take this third base role and run with it, and he certainly has. Member of the CAA All-Rookie team, and also did get some votes for CAA Rookie of the Year. It's the 1-1, poured in for a strike.
Laskowski didn't like that pitch as much, but just asking our home plate umpire, Brian Peterson, if that's as low as he's going to go today. Anything lower should be a ball.
Bit larger of a lead over there at first for Parker. He's going to go. That one bouncing to the plate probably would have been safe anyway. Trickles all the way to the backstop. Got past Johnson. Now a runner in scoring position for William & Mary.
Yeah, and good patience there from Parker. A lot of times you get a guy with a bunch of stolen bags. You want to get out there and you want to steal it being spiked by Brink. And now he's moved into scoring position for a good run producer in Leskowski.
Hasn't issued a whole lot of walks this year, 29 to 78 strikeouts, and way out in front of that off-speed pitch is Leskowski, but he does stay alive.
Yeah, Brink has really had the breaking ball going, so we'll continue to see that. But if he features a changeup, it would be a good pitch here for this left-handed batter, just trailing away from that left-handed hitter.
Their go-to options here at home to start this tournament. Pitch home, off-speed missing outside, so a great job here by the freshman in Leskowski to work the count, make it full, runner in scoring position, try to keep this inning alive. Leskowski, 10 doubles this year, 3 triples, 2 home runs. Hits that one back up the middle off the pitching hand of Brink. Got enough of it to make the play. Ranging over was Venables to get the third out. Hopefully that pitching hand is okay for Brink. Step aside as one runner stranded for the Tribe, sending it to...
But again, not to belabor this point too much, but it is the main story of this William & Mary Ball Club's season so far. On the negative side of things, is just every out is important. You got to find a way to just stay alive. So yeah, it's going to be key for Lachey to possibly get them some length from a pitching staff that has struggled as a whole.
This is 19th appearance of the year, 9th start, had 50 innings, which was tied for the team lead, 40 strikeouts in comparison to 19 walks. First pitch to Darian Pendergrass, the headlight for the Cougs, hitting .305 this year in center field, and when he gets on base, it is dangerous. The leader with 39 stolen bags in the conference, also ranking
over there, but he's 39 of 42, only been caught 3 times all year. And a little bit of a sub-story as well with our catcher today, Jerry Barnes is one of the top arms behind the dish, has tied for the conference lead in throwing out runners. So a little bit of a sub-story between this William & Mary and College of Charleston team.
Well, check swing for Pendergrass, and to add on to that note, he's tied with Dylan Johnson of Charleston with 19 runners caught stealing this year. So behind the plate, very steady and trying to limit that run game, which can be very vital in the postseason when head coaches are thinking, how can we manufacture base runners on and move them into scoring position? But a great fight so far for Pendergrass, who was struggling at the beginning of the year in non-conference play, had a nice end of the season, 62 hits, 11 doubles, 4 home runs, and 35 RBI out of that leadoff spot. Does love to work walks, too, with a team-high 33. Lachey's 0-2 once again. Dropping down the bunt. After being so far out of the zone, first ball so far that Lachey has thrown.
Interesting to see him square around with 2 strikes. They do have the third baseman playing a good bit back, but, I mean, that is because of the 2 strikes. Very risky, but could be a way on for Pendergrass.
Sitting on the off speed and just puts the top hand over, fouls it away yet again. So we're going to see a lot of balls coming back into our home plate umpire, Brian Peterson, for some reinforcements, and maybe a changed approach for this Charleston team throughout the season. When the pitching was on, the hitting wasn't there, and when the hitting was on, the pitching wasn't there. But down the stretch, winning 9 of their last 10. And they're going to say that Pendergrass leaned into it, so he's going to be out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with this. From our vantage point, it definitely looked like he stuck the elbow out there, took one right off the guard, and kept it moving. But I think Coach Holbrook's going to come out here and have a discussion, but here's a look at it. Watch that elbow. Yeah, definitely sticking it out over the plate. Tried to work his way on any way he could, but I think our home plate umpire, Brian Peterson, made the right call.
This is a very veteran-led umpire group. Brian Peterson behind the dish, Brian Marine at first, Jeremy Crow second, and the third base umpire, Randy Rosenberg. They're all going to come in together now just to solidify that the call was made.
Yeah, Peterson went ahead and made the universal signal of they're going to go check on this. But that same look that we just showed, I think they made the right call here.
It's another one of the great advantages here at the College of Charleston to be able to have that video review and make sure that the call can stand. Great production crew here with so many different camera angles. Patriots point. Already a great crowd on hand too for game 1 on a Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, Wednesday at noon, not typically one crowd that you'll see show out, but this crowd is doing a good job. And take another look here. Just again, watch that front elbow. Yeah, pretty well stuck out there.
Just that late lean. Most of the time, if you roll with the pitch and then you take it almost on the midsection, probably going to get that call instead. Yeah. But with that elbow extension out, Pendergrass not helping this call to potentially be overturned as they continue to look at it.
Yeah, in my eyes, almost admitting a little bit of guilt was Pendergrass as he took that ball off the elbow. His eyes went directly to home plate umpire Brian Peterson. Again, I think he knew that he gave him an opportunity, but here's our call. Yeah, the call is going to stand. Now watch Pendergrass. He's going to take this one off the elbow, and his eyes instantly just shift right back to Peterson. Right there. It's like, oh, you're not going to call me, are you? Back again. So a punch out here for Lachey. He had to work for it, but a good start to his ball game.
Maybe another approach for the Cougs, too, to try to get deeper into this bullpen.
Yes.
And with Lachey being a solidified option as of late, try to work these counts with Ethan Plyler, the second baseman for Charleston, due up, and he's way ahead of that pitch, fouled off.
Yeah, you kind of have to toe that line a little bit. I mean, you've hit 291 as a team, so you don't want to change up your approach too much. But then when you're facing a pitching staff with an ERA as high as it is, you want to kind of get as many pitchers out there in front of you that you can.
0-1 skied up in the infield on the right side. Recco talking with Holmes, and the second baseman will take charge to make the play, and a very quick out, so a different in comparison from Pendergrass there with Plyler.
Yeah, and that's nice for a pitcher there in Lachey. You go through such a battle on that first at-bat, and then you get to catch a little bit of a breather with the review, and then you get a quick out and out number 2. So looking at a possibly quick inning here if he can find a way to get Penfield out.
Landon Penfield, the freshman, slugged 3 home runs against Hofstra, including a 2-homer performance on Saturday that was also the game-tying grand slam against the Pride. So he's the reigning Rookie of the Week, was on the CAA All-Rookie team as the postseason awards were announced yesterday. The third baseman hitting .289 on the season with 19 doubles, which is second in the CAA. Left-on-left matchup, and 0-2 ahead early again for Lachey.
Yeah, and what a luxury for Coach Holbrook to plug in a freshman in the 3 spot, usually reserved for your best hitter on the ball club. Doesn't show up in the numbers necessarily, but a very solid bat in the 3 hole for the Cougars.
College of Charleston team that had a lot of changeover from last year's team that many thought were snubbed out of the NCAA tournament for an at-large bid.
I thought Coach Holbrook handled that whole situation so well last year.
Lachey's 1-2. Outside corner, called strike 3. So second punch out of the inning, and a great start for Lachey. So we are knotted up at 0, but both of these pitchers starting to get into their groove early against 2 high-powered offenses. Here to kick things off.
At William & Mary, we strive to be more than we are, and to do more than we've ever done. Here, we do not live in the shadows of the giants of American history that we helped to shape. We stand on their shoulders, reaching higher, looking further, and leading the way forward. To be a place where history happens every day, and to be a university for the bold.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's Freshly Grilled Cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's Pepperoni and Melted Cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale, the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
Seven due up here. Derek Holmes will kick things off, hitting .318 this year, and the last half inning saw him make a play out in the field on a pop fly hit by fellow second baseman Ethan Plyler. One base runner for William & Mary in the first. That was a hit by pitch for Ben Parker, but then he was stranded at second, and thankfully Jake Brink is okay, as there was a one hopper right back to the mound that he got his pitching hand on and honestly saved a run in the process. Ended up being a 6-3 putout. Here's a ball hit into right field, ranging back and making the play is Tyler Sorrentino.
Yeah, not something I would typically tell a pitcher is to reach out with your bare hand and try and field one. But in that case, it didn't hurt him, and he got enough on it to slow it down for his infielders to be able to make the play, so it worked out. But again, that's your moneymaker. That pitching hand's your moneymaker, man. Be careful.
Especially with the junior. He's been in these high leverage scenarios before, so maybe having some extra adrenaline could have played into that scenario.
You ever seen Bull Durham?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he's talking about not punching a guy with your pitching hand. A little different situation, but.
Now stepping in the DH, Charlie Iriotakis in his junior season, .265, a real great option for Coach McCoy. It's just up and down this lineup, production across the board. Nobody under a .245 ERA, 1 through 9, or .245 batting average rather, 1 through 9.
Yeah, you're not going to see that very often with a team hitting .313. There's just not a whole lot of weak spots in this lineup.
Had the count 1-2 after that previous foul ball, and seems so far with Brink, he's been able to locate the off speed, but on that fastball, seems like it just has a little bit of tail, especially against the lefties.
Yeah, getting away from him just a little bit.
Count even 2-2, Brink working quickly, and yet again, trying to get that outside corner and not able to locate any of those pitches yet.
Yeah, and the dangerous thing with not being able to locate your fastball is then they can kind of key in on the off speed. You become one-dimensional, it's a little bit easier to pick it up.
Hauled off yet again.
But it's early. Got a long ways to kind of find his footing, find his release point on that fastball.
Iriotakis, 5 doubles, 3 triples, 5 home runs, and 40 strikeouts, and there's another one right there. So second of the day, 2 quick outs for Jake Brink.
Yeah, and right on cue, he finds that release point of that fastball. Throws this pitch right at the knees. Beautifully done. We'll take a look at it. Again, you just find it right at the knees, perfect pitch. Any lower, it's a ball, but nice job behind the dish from Dylan Johnson at keeping that one up.
A great frame by Johnson. First pitch swinging is the first baseman, Anthony Greco. Greco does lead this team in walks with 34. Also has 10 hit by pitches, so he's been able to have an on-base percentage over 400, even though he's hitting .256 on the season. Biggest thing with Greco, that strikeout rate, 48 on the season. Down 0-2. Ball put into play on the left side, and that will be the first Tribe hit of the day. One hop for Pendergrass, long turnover, but a good throw in, and a single for the number 7 man on this Tribe lineup, Anthony Greco.
Yeah, I thought when that ball left the bat, it was destined for extra bases, but Pendergrass did just such a nice job of getting over there, cutting it off. Plus, that wind's pushing towards the right center field gap a little bit, so maybe a little bit of wind aided to push it towards him and keep that player at first base and the Tribe are into it.
Having some fun in the dugout. Jerry Barnes stepping in. 250 average for the backstop. A runner on and 2 down here in the second. First pitch swinging, another ball hit out to right field, and making the second catch of the inning is Tyler Sorrentino. So another runner left stranded for William and Mary. Charleston due up 4, 5, and 6 for the Cougs in the bottom half of the second.
Currently specializes in baseball and softball equipment, producing gloves, bats, helmets, and uniforms.
Charleston still looking for their first base runner in this 4 versus 5 matchup to kick off the 2025 CAA Baseball Championships. It'll be the backstop Dylan Johnson, who was the only returner in the infield for this team. Does a great job now in his senior season, not just commanding the pitching staff, but being the vocal leader for this Charleston team. And talking to this coaching staff was vital for Charleston to be able to turn things around in conference play and have such a great end to CAA play. Johnson 4th on the team with a .293 batting average. Also tied for 3rd in the conference with 17 doubles. Lachey starting this inning just like he did the last, being able to pour in strikes early in the counts, get ahead, and make it a little uncomfortable for these Coug hitters. Ball put over Jamie Laskowski's way, weird one hop and no throw over to first. So second pitch of the at-bat, first base runner for Charleston.
I think Laskowski just got himself in a weird position here. I think he got caught in between trying to get this long hop, or make it a short hop, I should say, and staying back. Catching the long hop, he gets the in-between, not able to field it cleanly. That's just a tough play to make. If you lay back, you have a feeling like, man, I don't think I'm going to be able to get that throw over to first base in time, but you come get it, you're not exactly on time, and that's when you see those plays like that.
While there's been a lot of good for Laskowski in his freshman season at the dish, does now have a team-high 17 errors in the field.
I know a little something about that. I got shifted to third base in my freshman year and ended up leading the conference in errors, so I feel for him.
Well, first-hand experience there. Another batter here due up. Lefty Will Baumhofer has had a tremendous end of the season. It was almost a revolving door at one point this year for Charleston in the DH spot, but has carved out a nice role for himself. The .328 batting average right now, leading the team. Does have some extra base prowess as well. 13 doubles, 3 triples, and 41 RBIs. Johnson at first. Lachey with the look over, and have to be very weary of the pickoff moves from Lachey. He's picked off 12 runners in his Tribe career.
Going back to Baumhofer, I think it shows that Coach Holbrook has all the confidence in the world in you as well to put you in left on left. Right? That DH slot can be reserved for anybody, and instead of going with maybe a right-handed hitter in a matchup situation against the left-handed Lachey, he's putting you out there. So he's confident in your numbers, and again, why shouldn't he be? You're hitting 328 and 41 runs driven in. So
another throw over, not in time to try to nab Johnson. But to your point, only 3 lefties in this Cougs lineup here today. Pendergrass, the leadoff man, Baumhofer, and then currently in the hole, Tyler Sorrentino out in right. 3-0 pitch also misses, and this is where the Tribe have gotten themselves in trouble, not just for Lachey, but as this entire staff. Second most walks issued in the conference, entering the day with 334.
it sounds like a high number.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's, compared to their opponents, only 208.
Right.
Very big discrepancy there.
Yeah, free 90s are the ones that are the most frustrating for really anybody involved on defense or that coaching staff. You just can't defend it. You have to throw the ball over the plate, and that's one of the reasons why baseball is the best. You can't really, run the clock out, or you got to get 27 outs. You got to throw it over the plate to get me out, and so that's why I love baseball. But
I think most people agree with
yeah,
you too,
yeah,
Ty.
yeah. It can get a little long sometimes, and I get that, but baseball is one of the greatest sports in the world.
2 runners aboard, 0-1 count for Avery Neves, and quickly down 0-2. So a nice response even after taking a second for Nick Lachey to step off the rubber, maybe compose himself a little bit, especially now with a runner in scoring position. Long look over, a little bit of a shift on right now, not able to keep that foul tip in his glove was Jerry Barnes, so staying alive is the left fielder in Neves.
And it looks like Charleston might be content at keeping this thing station to station on the base paths, because Dylan Johnson at second base, one of the smaller leads I've ever seen somebody getting off the second.
5 for 7 in stolen base opportunities this year. Does have home shaded up the middle, trying to keep him close as well, with Wilson in traditional shortstop territory. 1-2 count for the senior. Another pitch home, swung on and missed. So 3 strikeouts early for Lachey, and he gets a very much needed first out in the bottom of the second.
He's been hot as of late, like you mentioned, the last 5 appearances. He's done so much better. He gets himself into a little bit of trouble here, but that confidence he can continue to build on. He keeps getting punch-outs here in big situations. So now, you got runners at first and second. You're a ground ball away from getting out of this thing.
I mentioned earlier in the frame how Charleston is starting to put it all together offensively at the right time. One of those players is Tyler Sorrentino, riding a 14-game hit streak, and you have him tucked in this lineup at number 7, so showing how versatile, because they don't commit early.
Yeah, no hesitation, maybe a slight hesitation, but did a pretty good job of getting in there. The big thing, though, for the College of Charleston is that Baumhofer was not able to follow him up into second base, so the Tribe still in a decent situation here where a ground ball can get you a double play and get you out of this inning.
Get out of trouble. Sorrentino at the plate. He does get that ground ball, long ranging over. Holmes, when he gets it out of the transfer, couldn't get it out of his glove. So the first run of the day will go to the College of Charleston. Tyler Sorrentino just doing a job, putting the ball in play on the right side. Good things happen. Yeah,
that chopper just high enough to get over the first baseman to where that double play was no longer in play. And then just sliding over here, you'll see he just does a good job of getting there. Takes his time, but yeah, the transfer just didn't happen for him. And we got our first run of the ball game.
Also will be an error issued. So under 950, there's a hard hit into center field. Able to camp under it, Ben Parker to make the play. So a second out there for Alex Lacoste, the first baseman. Now bringing up the shortstop and the number 9 man in this Charleston lineup, Ben Venables.
And you combine the worst fielding percentage with the worst ERA, and that's a lot of runs you're giving up. Because obviously when you're making errors, those aren't earned runs that end up coming in most of the time. So you add in the runs that you give up in total, plus the earned runs on the earned run average. It's just a tough situation on defense for the Tribe.
Not a good combination, and then it adds more pressure to the offense that, hey, if we want to give ourselves a chance, we have to score over 8 runs and have a monumental day just to give ourselves a chance.
Yeah, playing a lot of 12-11 ball games.
A lot of comeback wins for this William & Mary team, too. 21 wins on the season, 16 of them in comeback fashion, including one to end an 8-game losing skid in the season finale. Ben Venable with 2 runners aboard and a 2-0 count. Lachey's pitch home, another miss, and this is where the wheels can start to maybe fall off a little bit, especially after a 1-2-3 first inning. Already at 30 pitches for Nick Lachey. Here's his 3-0. Nabs the inside corner. It's Darian Pendergrass on deck. Try to flip this lineup over and keep the inning going. High leg kick, another pitch home, and good fight again for Charleston. They want to just continue to lengthen out these at-bats, get your best pitch to hit and drive into the gaps. This is a great gap-to-gap team, the most doubles in the conference. Full count pitch, 2 on, and runners do go, hit into center field. Easy read for Ben Parker, so at least limiting what the potential damage could be was Lachey in the Tribe, but it is 1 earned run, or unearned run rather, on the board for the Cougs, taking a lead entering the 3rd.
Look, Elsie is a role player. She cannot lead a team.
Her handles ain't that good. I'm literally look. You almost ripped her right there.
Y'all swear Kelsey Plum is a top player, but I don't see it.
She's a good piece. If Plum is your #1 option, then you're not winning anything major.
What do you say to those that say you can't shoot a 3 that save your life?
Do it again, though. She can barely hold the ball. But I'm just not sold on
She can't make that.
She's cooked.
Apologize. I ain't gonna lie, she nice.
Well, I mean, she is in the WNBA, so she gonna hit a few shots. She a problem for real.
The honorable mention all CAA pick on the bump, Jake Brink. 2 innings of work already and limited the damage, allowing 1 runner in each frame so far, but nothing to come back and haunt him. It'll be Owen Wilson, the headlight for the Tribe, the shortstop in the #9 slot before Ben Parker and Lucas Carmichael have their second trips to the dish. Ty, what have you seen so far from Jake Brink that's made him effective even at points when he hasn't been able to locate his pitches?
Yeah, it's really been the off-speed, the breaking ball. He's featured that early and often. It's not it's a situation where he's throwing it in every count. It's not one where he needs to get ahead before he throws it. He's feeling confident in throwing that breaking ball at any pitch.
Ball hit, shaded over with the shift, right back up the middle, so it will be a 4-3 putout, but in an unconventional way. Weiler over to Lacoste for out #1.
I'll say that the Tribe are starting to find a couple of barrels. A couple balls last inning that were hit pretty hard. And that ball right there was struck well. The defense for the College of Charleston was shaded perfectly. So you keep finding barrels. That's just all you can do as an offense is continue to find barrels and let the balls fall where they may.
At some point in time, you'll be due for one to fall and get things rolling. First pitch swinging for Ben Parker. More on Jake Brink in his junior season. It was a preseason all-CAA pick. It was the opening day starter for the 2nd straight year. Had some highs and lows, but the biggest thing for him and why he can be so impactful in a postseason setting is he goes deep into games. He's went at least 6 innings in 10 of 15 starts. Has some trouble there fielding that comebacker, and for the second time today, there's a hit. Ben Parker reaches.
Yeah, a good job of originally knocking this thing down, but then once he goes back, he fumbles it once more. There, he knocks it down. He's going to come back here and fumble it just once more, and that's all Parker would need to reach first base safely. It was going to be tough anyway. I think that gets ruled as a hit. Tough to give an error to a pitcher like that, but good job from Parker finding his way on once again.
It will be ruled a hit. Ben Parker, who has the second longest hit streak this season that was ended a few weeks back, but over 25 games is absurd. That goes to show how he was able to have a .413 average. Always a stolen base threat, saw him already go, and here's Lucas Carmichael. So the Tribe continuing to find barrels, and that one will get down for a single out into right.
And this is the situation that the Tribe want to put themselves in. You've got both of your top two hitters on base for your big bopper, and Christian Rush. This has been the success of the Tribe all year has been based off of these top three hitters, really, kind of buoying that solid lineup.
Rush third in the CAA in homers, has a very high slugging percentage at over .560. Now Brink finding himself, just like in the last half of the inning with Nick Lachey, in some turbulence. Did get the leadoff man out, so 1 out in the inning. Parker at second, Carmichael the trail runner. It's the 0-1 from Brink, another off-speed pitch blocked well in front of the plate. Seen that low 80s type curveball. Now the second time through might be just a little bit easier for William and Mary to wait back on and drive into the outfield. Now we got the fastball. Christian Rush out into left, ranging back at the wall, and a catch made. Avery Neves. So Ben Parker tags up. They're going to say that he was safe at second. Brian Johnson and the rest of this infield don't believe that Parker tagged up in time. Here's another look at that play.
Yeah, I thought this ball had a pretty good chance of getting out of here. And then just a leaping grab in left field. Beautifully done. And right away, Dylan Johnson came out saying that that runner did not tag from second base, but does not look like we're going to have another challenge. We're going to play first and third with 2 outs here for the Tribe.
So all of that for a long sac fly for Christian Rush that could have made this a 3-1 ball game if that ball had a little bit more on it. The wind does change here a whole lot. Laskovsky first pitch swinging, and another out made. Jake Brink with only 1 out, 2 runners aboard, escapes a near 3-run blast to still put up a goose egg on the scoreboard. Charleston due up top of the card when we return here on FloSports.
CAAsports.com.
Charleston up 1-0 in the bottom of the third inning, now getting their second time up to face Nick Lachey. There at Pendergrass was the casualty of a strikeout that technically wasn't a strikeout, still was plunked, leaned into that pitch. So already 3 strikeouts for Nick Lachey coming off his last outing where he had a career-high 6. Another called strike early. That's been one of the impressive things for Lachey so far, Ty, is he's been able to get ahead in so many counts.
Yeah, and he wants to work quickly, too, right back on the mound.
All put into play, tailor-made for Derek Holmes, so another out. Holmes has already been pretty busy at second base, 1 down here at the bottom of the 3rd.
And I like the mindset of Lachey of getting right back on the mound, especially after a first pitch out onto the mound quickly after what was a pretty stressful inning for him. Then that's maybe a situation where that offense can kind of find a little chink in the armor, a little crack in the armor there to break open on Brink.
Didn't really have to do a whole lot in the first. That ball is foul tip straight back. Just needed 12 pitches in inning number 1, and now entering the 3rd, about to be pitch 39. So really had to work for it in the 2nd. Ethan Plyler had a pop fly over on the right side that was made by Holmes, and this time just laces one out into left field. So a second hit up.
Bad head out. Kind of rope hooked it into left field there. Good swing.
Second time through the order. Again, we mentioned in the pregame that these are the top 2 offenses in terms of average in the CAA. Second time through, making the necessary adjustments needed to have at least a better chance to get some runners on base. Landon Penfield struck out looking to end the bottom of the 1st inning in his first trip. Freshman now has 1 runner on, and already seen, probably considering how good Lachey is at picking off runners, not his best move so far. He's going to keep that one tucked away until he really needs it. Keeping all these runners honest so far on the base paths. Lefty on the mound, always difficult. Coach Holbrook and any opposing manager trying to get some runners in motion. Much easier against a righty. Getting the sign, the pitch home on the 1-1, outside corner, just missing a little low.
Lachey doing a nice job of mixing up his looks and his times to the plate as well. It's not a situation where they can kind of time him up. He's doing a good job of keeping those runners at bay.
One misses upstairs. You can see the slider didn't have the movement that he was looking for. Knew it right as it came out of his hand.
Now that being said, when you're mixing up your looks, you're mixing up your times to the plate, you still need to be comfortable as a pitcher to being able to find the strike zone. Lachey's kind of lost it a little bit here in this at-bat.
Big spot for the freshman. Look over, and Plyler gets back in time. Does have some speed. This is a Cougs team that loves to put runners in motion. 107 for 127 on the season, and the throw down not in time, even though Plyler was a little confused, kind of looked back after a potential hit and run scenario, but still ends up getting the base.
Yeah, something weird happened there at the plate with Jerry Barnes. Did this ball get tipped? No, but Jerry just did not see the runner headed to second base. Communication might not have been there. That left-handed batter blocking his view of the runner at first base. He was not able to snap a throw down there in time.
Maybe needs some better communication from the dugout as well, at least letting you know. At least for the Tribe now in a full count against Penfield.
Yeah, just from his original reaction, the way that he kind of lifted his glove after the pitch got there, seemed like maybe it was a foul ball. He thought it was a foul ball, but on second look, it didn't necessarily seem to. It didn't look like that. It was a weird play at home plate.
Full count pitch, second strikeout of the day for Landon Penfield, and 4th for the man on the mound in Nick Lachey.
Yeah, and that's the way that Lachey has really limited the damage, right? He's got 4 punch-outs, and all of them seem to have come in big situations, other than obviously the one that led off the game to Darian Pendergrass. But the strikeouts have all come with runners on base, runners in scoring position, doing a good job keeping this College of Charleston offense just a little bit off balance.
Ethan Plyler in scoring position, just had his 12th steal of the year. Now the senior catcher, Dylan Johnson, who was the headlight last inning, had a leadoff single and was responsible for the first run of the game. Pitch missing outside. This is a pitcher in Lachey that is going to live around that 86, 87 mile an hour range with his fastball, so he's not going to really blow it by you, but he's been able to be really crafty with the secondary pitches and be effective. Look over, long hit into left, down the line. Will it be fair? And it is gone! Way out there in left field down the line. It needed to be confirmed by Randy Rosenberg. And with 2 outs in the inning, it's a 2-run blast for Dylan Johnson.
It's a park here at Patriots Point that doesn't give up a whole lot of home runs. Pretty deep in the gaps, kind of a graveyard out there where the ball goes up and just doesn't quite carry. But this is one way to get it. It's right down this left field line where you got the high wall. He gets around it. He's a little bit early on it, but gets a great piece, and it just stays fair.
Senior leader helping out this team, responsible for 2 of the 3 runs on the board for the Cougs. Baumhofer, he was stranded at second base. Now first pitch swinging, sky high into left, and Lucas Carmichael will make the final out. So after 1 inning in the second, Charleston tacks on 2 more to take a 3-run lead. It's 5, 6, and 7 for William and Mary when they come up, but it's a 3-run lead because of that man right there, Dylan Johnson.
This is the CAA on Flow Sports.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's Freshly Grilled Cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's Pepperoni and Melted Cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale, the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
Charleston taking an early lead in Game 1 of the CAA Baseball Championships here at home. A lot of fans in attendance at Patriots Point. They got the fans into it after that 2-run bomb from the catcher.
Here as of late with the amount of championships that they've won in comparison to the teams in the field.
This is the 4th time in the last 11 years since Charleston came into the conference that they've actually hosted this championship. Trying to get back to their winning ways. And when they won back in 2014, they were also a 4 seed just like this year. First pitch swinging, Derek Holmes, after lining out last trip, he'll be the headlight, trying to get this Tribe offense going that's had base runners on, Ty, but they haven't been able to hit them home, which is so uncharacteristic of this group.
Yeah, and it's kind of been the difference in this ball game so far. Is College of Charleston, yes, the home run was huge. They had a couple of good swings last inning, but it's been mostly situational hitting. For William & Mary, they're putting the bat to the ball, but they're just not having it in the right times. They're not able to kind of move the runners over and get them in.
Already left 4 runners stranded, 2 of them in scoring position. It's Charlie Iriatakis. Struck out looking back in the second. Now 4 hits for William & Mary. Still not able to cash in any of them up to this point. 1-0 from Brink. Another called strike at the knees, 84 miles an hour on the off speed. It's also seen, at least from my perspective, that Brink is almost more comfortable from the stretch so far today. He's allowed a lot more barrels, loud contact from the full, but now in the stretch, that seems where he's been at least a little bit more confident. Gets a ground ball out at second base, and then he fields first as well. The 3-6-1 double play, and maybe there is something about working in the stretch.
Yeah, Brink's got a little bounce to his step after that one, and as he should. A lot of people say pitchers aren't athletes. Well, I give you exhibit A. Pitchers are athletes right here. He gets over to first base. He's running as fast as he can in one direction to get to first base, then plants on first and is able to stretch back out and field the throw from the shortstop there. Just a nicely done double play there, your typical 3-6-1 double play.
So after getting the headlight on, now back to ground zero with 2 down, Anthony Greco. He was responsible for the first hit of the day for William & Mary back in the second. It's a great job just getting on base, working walks. It's a luxury to have this far down in the lineup, but with a team that is just so versatile across the board, shouldn't be too surprising that they have such production this late in the lineup card. Brink starting to get in a groove, towing the rubber yet again in the 2-1 inside corner. It's framed by Johnson, but just a little bit too far in the inner third. Greco trying to start something for this William & Mary team, and now a full count for the Buffalo, New York native.
I think you know a little something about that Buffalo, New York area, don't you?
Something about that, that's for sure. So does William & Mary head coach Rob McCoy in his first season with the Tribe, but spent previous 16 years at Niagara University with the Purple Eagles.
Now, is that close to Niagara Falls?
That is right there. And the Purple Eagles last year winning the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference Championship in the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. Coach McCoy taking that to new opportunities here. Full count pitch, slapped over on the right side, and the play is made by Plyler. So after allowing the leadoff man to get on, Brink helps out and caps off a double play of his own and retires the Tribe in order. We'll see if Charleston in the bottom half can add on to their lead. Charleston has scored at least 1 run in the past 2 frames. We'll see if that trend can continue for the Cougs. Currently up 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning at home against the number 5 seed William & Mary Tribe. Gorgeous day right now, 88 degrees in Mount Pleasant. Hopefully this weather, fingers crossed, can stay the same for the remainder of this tournament. Avery Neve struck out his first time, but maybe made up for it in the field with a sprawling catch on the warning track that could have saved maybe 2 runs on the play.
guy in Ruston, Virginia. That's in Northern Virginia. That's a kind of a hot spot for William & Mary. They like to go to that Northern Virginia area to bring in players. So one that got away here in the William & Mary coaching staff.
Neves, one of the veterans in this outfield. That was where they were able to return so much of their production from 2024, but still had 20 newcomers into this program, and that makes sense why they did have some growing pains early on in the season, trying to find who was going to replace a lot of those infield slots. Navigating in foul territory, Anthony Greco, after ending last inning with the bat, he makes a play and retires the leadoff man in Neves.
It's been a steady breeze here in Mount Pleasant today as well. We talked with a couple of the locals here earlier, and as you said, the wind kind of swirls a little bit. It goes in different directions. I thought it might have helped keep Dylan Johnson's home run down the left field line fair with it blowing more out towards right field. And, you know, even with the play from Neves in left field, I thought it might have pushed the ball back towards a deeper part of the yard. So it's kind of gone the way of Charleston and not the way of William & Mary to this point with the wind.
So initially for Tyler Sorrentino, they ruled it an E4. They ended up changing that, giving him a hit down the first base line. So now a multi-hit day for Sorrentino and 15-game hit streak all the way to the right corner, and he'll put on the brakes with a stand-up double. Already having himself a day.
Yeah, now they're kind of adding up innings, aren't they? They're starting to put bats on balls. They're starting to put the barrel on the ball. They're getting extra base knocks. The home run from Johnson last inning, Sorrentino follows it up with a double in this inning. That'll help jumpstart the offense if it hasn't already.
Sprawling out to try to make the play was Greco and just not able to get there in time. So here's Alex Lacoste. Carved out a role for himself back in the end of March. He didn't have really a solidified spot, had injuries at second and first.
Kind of comes into play here. Rush never saw this ball. He had palms up. You can't necessarily see it here, but he's looking towards Parker to come help him out because he never saw that ball, but it's just such a long run for Parker to come make that play. Here you can kind of see it. Rush has no idea where it's at, catches it late, but not able to get there in time. And just, again, really tough luck there from Lachey. You do your job, you get the fly ball to right field. You might be looking at a situation where they tag from second to third with 2 outs, but now that ball gets down, you get the runner all the way to third base, and you're in one. So it's a tough situation to deal with.
And because that did not touch anybody in the field, that will be ruled a hit for Alex Lacoste. So
that was the way I had to get all my triples too. Somebody would have to fall
just some
down.
Luck.
They kind of stumbled into the field there in right field, and they're back in business. They've got a runner at third base with less than 2 outs. A lot of different ways you can get them in, and this is where, for William & Mary, you have to kind of fight that mental game a little bit. You were losers of 9 out of your last 11 games, and you're down 4-0 here early in the 4th inning, and it's kind of a situation where it's like, man, here we go again. You kind of have to fight that, get back into the right mindset, get back in this ball game.
So it's the first collegiate triple for Alex Lacoste. As first pitch called strike to Ben Venables. He also flew out to straightaway center field in his last trip. Now with the infield in with 1 out. Squaring around to bunt on the right side. Lacoste is going to score. Barehand play made by Lachey. So at least they get the out, but another run for Charleston to increase their lead to 5.
Yeah, Coach Holbrook not afraid of going to the small ball. I mean, it's a team that steals a lot of bases anyway, but they elect to go with the safety squeeze. And this is perfectly placed. You can see Lachey's falling off to the third base side because of that's just the natural way that left-handers come off the mound. But with that bunt to the left side, or to the right side, excuse me, Lachey does a nice job of making the fielding play, but an easy scored run, well executed in the small ball department for College of Charleston.
Bottom of the lineup doing their job after Neves was retired in foul ground. 7 and 8 in your lineup come around to score with extra base hits. And Venables even able to get that bunt down, like you said, in a perfect spot. Pendergrass ranging in, long run for Parker, but he will end up making the catch. So Darian Pendergrass now 0 for 3 on the day in that leadoff spot, but hey, the Cougs are getting production from other players in this lineup. A 5-0 lead for Charleston. For the Cougs here at home, gotta feel pretty good.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the Coastal Athletic Association, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 90,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Look, Kelsey is a role player. She cannot lead a team.
Her handles ain't that good. I'm literally, look, you almost ripped her right there.
Y'all swear Kelsey Plum is a top player, but I don't see it.
She's a good piece. If Plum is your number one option, then you're not winning anything major.
What do you say to those that say you can't shoot a three that save your life?
Do it again, though. She can barely hold the ball. But I'm just not sold on.
She can't make that.
She's cooking.
Apologize. I ain't gonna lie, she nice.
Well, I mean, she is in the WNBA, so she gonna hit a few shots. She a problem for real.
Great scenic shots all across Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, near the campus of the College of Charleston, the host site for the 2025 CAA Baseball Championships. Right here at home, the Cougs playing very well. They've been able to get out of a lot of jams defensively. The bats are starting to do their job, and maybe some frustration brewing from the William & Mary side.
Absolutely. It's just human nature. Things haven't gone your way late in the season, and they have not started the right way here in this game.
Up near the hands to the catcher, Jerry Barnes, who lined out to Tyler Sorrentino out and right. 8-9-1 for the Tribe. Been in a very similar spot throughout the season. Another ball hit into right field, but the same result for the catcher and Barnes.
I got to say, they're just kind of bad luck right now for William & Mary as well. That ball also hit very well. Just shaded to the correct spot. The defense has been positioned correctly for College of Charleston, and just not hitting them where they ain't, as they say.
Be a spot for the shortstop and Owen Wilson to contribute. This past weekend to end the regular season, hit his first career collegiate home run. Tribe on the season had 55 homers. That was 6th most in the CAA. Just were able to do a whole lot of damage for hits like that right back up the middle, but Charleston having the proper shift on, and that's the second time today where Wilson has laced one right back up the middle. It's been a 4-3 putout.
Man, it's just so frustrating. You just do everything you're supposed to do. I mean, when you watch a good baseball player, they're staying up the middle so often, and you're taught to do that. College of Charleston is shading you to pull, but they've just got that second baseman put in the right spot.
Ben Parker has reached safely in his 2 previous plate appearances, was hit by a pitch and then had a single, but was stranded in scoring position both times. So he's done his job in the leadoff spot. Now those other impressive hitters behind him need to do their due diligence, and just has that feeling that once that dam immediately breaks for William & Mary, that they can just load runs in bunches.
Yeah, something you have to be cognizant of if you're the College of Charleston, for sure. I mean, these balls are being hit hard. They're seeing the ball well out of his hand. It's just right now you've got them positioned correctly. But anytime these balls start to fall, like it's something that you got to keep an eye on.
To the Cougs' credit, at least building a lead throughout, not staying stationary at 1 or 2 runs, which is easy work for the Tribe. Even 5 runs, we've seen that plenty of times. William & Mary be the comeback kids late in games in the 9th inning down to their final strike. Doesn't matter the scenario, they've experienced it this season. It's a 3-1 and another walk issued, so Ben Parker, he's he's done all season long with that over 500 on-base percentage. Is a perfect 3 for 3 here in the tournament.
You get an on-base percentage of over 500, it's hard to maintain. You go 1 for 3 and have a pretty decent day, and your on-base percentage would come down, but he's done a nice job all 3 times, staying perfect.
Lucas Carmichael in his second trip laced the ball out into right field for a single. 365 batting average, 12 homers, 47 RBIs. Had a stretch in 6 games, had 5 home runs, was really just lighting it up towards the end of conference play, or rather the end of non-conference play into the CAA portion of the schedule. That powers came in some weird spurts, but anytime that Cougs up by 5 and now have 2, 3, and 4 of their lineup due up. Dylan Johnson, the cleanup man in this lineup here today, and something about playing the Tribe. Now in 4 games against William & Mary, he has 3 home runs, and both of his home runs during the regular.
It's just about seeing that team on the other side of the field, you know, for Johnson wearing green and gold. You know, sometimes it just works out that way where you kind of own a team.
Ethan Plyler skies one out into straightaway center field. That ball with the wind got out in a hurry. Tags one into straightaway center off the batter's eye. And Ethan Plyler, now the second home run of the day for the Cougs.
Yeah, that ball was peppered. I mean, that thing got well up onto the batter's eye up there in center field, right over top that 400-foot center field. Let's take another look. Yeah, he just connects out in front on that ball and just absolutely hammers it. And again, with the wind pushing out, that ball had no chance of staying in the ballpark.
6th homer of the year for Plyler, now bringing up Landon Penfield, who also has a good amount of power. Led the team in the regular season with 7 bombs, but Johnson just tied him earlier in the day for the team lead. Casualty of the strikeout twice, and now it's a situation for the Tribe and head coach Rob McCoy. What do you do with the pitching staff? Is right now 65 pitches for Lachey. He's shown some really nice spots. He's allowed some loud contact, and it's the chess game at this point in the year. Here's Penfield out into right center field. How about back-to-back jacks? Balls are being barreled all over the yard. One out to left by Johnson, straightaway center by Plyler, and now out to right for Penfield. And it's now a 7-run lead for Charleston.
I made the mistake earlier saying this ballpark doesn't give up a whole lot of home runs, and now we've seen them on back-to-back at-bats. Oh, just Charleston feeling themselves here. In the bottom of the 5th, we're going to have a mound visit from Coach McCoy. This might be the end of the day for Lachey. Just got it, again, out in front, elevation. This ball right over that right center field wall.
How about Landon Penfield taking that home run lead for the team right back, saying, no, I want to have that as a freshman, and now his 8th home run of the year. So it will be a change on the mound for the Tribe. It'll be Ryan Fesco. Excuse me, my apologies. Daniel Lingle, who now has his NCAA 33rd appearance of the season, the go-to option out of the pen for William & Mary, and with a pretty
that maybe you didn't lean on a whole lot during the year. Maybe somebody unconventional steps up and really plays a huge role in the tournament game that maybe necessarily you weren't expecting them to. So just it is one of the more fun parts about the tournament settings here late in the year.
More on Daniel Lingle again. The NCAA lead in appearances now with 33, a 6.4 ERA, a 2-0 record, and 25 strikeouts in comparison to 18 walks. First man up is Dylan Johnson, who has had the Tribe's number.
Little equipment malfunction here. Must not be able to hear the pitch calls.
Issue with the pitch comm, so going to switch out some batteries there. The reinforcements.
All right, now Griffin. So this is where I'll age myself. This predates me. I don't know what's going on here.
Even for me, I'm kind of aged out of it.
Oh,
now.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was towards the tail end of my career before
Where
just
pitch comms
old-fashioned
started coming in?
signs, and going into my upperclassmen years, that's where we had to make the change, and certainly changes.
So is it literally saying it out loud, like fastball?
Yeah, so you can have different settings on it,
okay.
Depending on what you like. Could be sometimes faint, sometimes louder. You can also do beeps instead if you would rather have certain noises instead of calling out the pitch. Certainly preference, and every program uses them differently now at this point. So Johnson will see the first pitch of the day from Lingle and foul it straight back.
Yeah, nothing like feeling a good bit older than the game making me feel old here.
After putting up no runs in the first, seeing at least one run in the second, and then in the third, fourth, and fifth, 2 runs in each one of those frames. Anytime really somebody's gotten on, they've came around and scored. 7 runs on 7 hits. In comparison, William and Mary, they have those 4 hits, but have had a few base runners via the walk or the hit by pitch, and still nothing to show for it.
Yeah, you start scoring every inning, it becomes a little bit of a fight at the bat rack. Who gets to go next? I want to go next. It's I want to get back on offense so we can continue to score.
Lingle's 1-2. Staying ahead. Does have a lot of late break on his off-speed pitches and works pretty quick to home as well.
Yeah, a guy that Coach McCoy definitely trusts, obviously throwing him out there in his 33rd ball game. You appear in 33 ball games when your team has played just over 50 that's a pretty good percentage for a pitcher.
Maybe a little out in front for Johnson, still able to muscle that one right back up the middle, and the second hit of the day for Dylan Johnson, as he has also reached aboard safely in all 3 trips. Baumhofer in that number 5 slot, team lead in batting average. 0 for 1 today, was walked in the second, and then flew out to Lucas Carmichael in left. Nobody out, 1 runner on, already 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th for the Cougs. And at this point in the game, only 2 players have not reached safely. Another ball hit into right center field. Long run for Parker, and it's a 1-hopper off the wall. Johnson's being waved around to score. He will stand up, and it's a stand-up triple for Will Baumhofer. Vibes are real high for the College of Charleston right now.
Yeah, it's contagious. This ball roped into right center field, and watch Parker. He gives it a nice run. I was watching him track it. I thought he had a chance on this thing, just not able to get there. And again, Baumhofer picks up another triple in this ball game, and the College of Charleston just continuously pumping out extra base hit after extra base hit, putting unbelievable pressure on this William & Mary defense and pitching staff. And now we've got the infield in.
And the home run power coming later in the season. The check swing was called a strike, went around for Avery Neves in his first pitch that he sees from Daniel Lingle. Now it's on full display, the power. Already 3 home runs, 2 triples, mixing in some doubles too. Long run in from center field, and that's also going to get down. Baumhofer, a great read. He will score. Long run coming from Holmes, and it's now the second time where Kristen Rush hasn't had a great first step to a ball in right field.
Yeah, any ball that gets skied out towards right field, I don't think on either side, either defensive right fielders are doing a very, well, I shouldn't say doing a very good job. They're just not able to see the ball. It's just tough to pick up out there right now. And again, it just drops right in. When it rains, it pours for the College of Charleston.
Now up 9-0 with Tyler Sorrentino due up. He had a double last time up, came around and scored.
And again, at what point do you wave the white flag and bring in a guy that maybe isn't as high leverage a pitcher as Lindell? Or excuse me, Lingle.
Pitch at the belt, a little inside. Now the only batter for the Cougs at this point who has not reached safely is Darian Pendergrass, and Will Venables also had a sacrifice bunt. So technically 2 of those 9 have not reached safely, and plenty of them multiple times today. Ethan Plyler, he's reached safely twice. Dylan Johnson in all 3. Baumhofer twice. Sorrentino twice as well. Skied up, behind home plate, long run, and off the glove. That would have been a crazy catch in foul ground behind the dish by Jerry Barnes.
And Barnes was in foul territory the whole time, so this one's going to end up being a foul ball. Now, if this ball is touched in fair territory and brought over into foul, then that's when it becomes a fair ball. But this one is going to be foul the whole way. The runner will have to go back to first. And again, just a tough situation, and it's one that, especially for William & Mary, a situation where, man, you need to stop that bleeding somehow, and they just gave you an opportunity right there and not able to get it done.
Put into play on the left side, backhand by Owen Wilson. The throw not in time. Sorrentino, another base knock for him.
And with the shift right there, that was always going to be a super tough play. The play was not going to be at second base. You're going to have to get rid of that thing quickly. He did about as good a job as you can do, but just not in time to get a speedy Sorrentino.
Still looking for their first out in the inning. Just doing a job. Putting the bat out, didn't have to barrel it. Had it on the left side knowing that that shift was in play and making a beeline down the base paths.
Another pitching change for William & Mary here as well. So that kind of answers our question of when they would go away from Lingle and they'll bring in another arm.
Tough spot for the Tribe, who have hung their hat all season long on doing this to the opposition, putting up runs in bunches, having large leads. It's going to be an interesting spot. We'll tell you more about the new arm in for William & Mary when we return here on Flow Sports. Second bullpen arm of the bottom of the 5th inning for William & Mary will be the freshman Jack Waite, who has a little bit under a 9 ERA in his first collegiate season. Now his 25th appearance, exactly 25 innings of work, 28 strikeouts compared to 20 walks.
Yes, there's still another guy that they lean on pretty often. The numbers might not be the best, but a situation where you put a freshman in here in a postseason situation and get him a little bit of experience. And again, trying to keep College of Charleston at bay. They still need an out here in the bottom of the fifth. No one of the three pitchers that have stepped out there so far this inning for William & Mary have been able to record an out.
9-run advantage, already double-digit hits for the College of Charleston. Alex Lacoste had a triple in his most recent trip, with another RBI in his freshman season. Now there's 2 runners aboard, Neves at second, Sorrentino at first. And foul tip, 89 miles an hour on the first pitch from Waite. Trying to get out of this inning unscathed and keep 4 runs in this inning on the scorecard. This off-speed pitch for swing and a miss from the freshman. Goes down 0-2. Runners go. Trail runner there and foul tipped away.
This runner's got a pretty good jump there, but you do, with 2 strikes, have to fight that off. Did a nice job of just wasting one.
Whatever the Tribe can do, defense needs to be strong behind them. Already had some blunders in the outfield, not being able to have great reads. Now here's a chance. Wilson, the out at second. No, he cannot. Pulls Holmes off the bag. 1 run will come in to score in Neves, and now there's the first unearned run of the inning. Just everything not going the way of William & Mary here today.
Yeah, and this one really stings because not only are you looking at a prospective first out, you're thinking you might be able to get 2. Instead, you end up with nobody. A run scores. College of Charleston not out of this thing yet either.
And the crazy thing, even though it's a 10-run disadvantage, you can't really even say that William & Mary's out of this game because they've had so many crazy comebacks. Yes, it is not a position that I know that they would like to be in, but still, if you can get those bats rolling, get out of this inning, you never know. It's been the Achilles heel of this team all season long. When the pitching hasn't been there, it's translated into the field behind them. And that's when you see crooked numbers on the scoreboard.
Yep, the bad gets worse here. Hit by pitch, and now we're back to the top of the lineup for the College of Charleston.
Now bases loaded. Sorrentino at third. Lacoste, the trail runner, and Venables, who was just plunked. And now Darian Pendergrass, the only man on this Cougs team, or at least in the lineup, that hasn't reached safely today. Infield in, he skies 1 out into shallow right field. Christian Rush ends up having a better beat to it this time. And the runner will go about 20 feet down the baseline and make its way back to third.
All right, take a deep breath if you're William & Mary. You got your first out of the inning. Again, the job of the relief pitcher is to just come in, especially in situations such as these, is that you just got to minimize the damage. And you've done a pretty good job. You've gotten a couple of ground balls that, you should have gotten a couple outs, and you get a fly ball there. So you're doing your job. You just have to continue to do what you can do, control what you can control, and try and claw your way back into this thing.
Ethan Plyler, the redshirt junior, actually started this inning with a solo shot that went off midway high on the batter's eye. That started back-to-back home runs from Plyler and the man on deck, Landon Penfield, that started the onslaught and 5 consecutive runs in order for the College of Charleston. 1-0 pitch, nowhere close, and tempting Plyler to take a hack at. Still with bases loaded, bottom of the order doing their job. Now sending it back to the top of the card. Plyler with 46 RBIs on the season in the number 2 slot. Doing a lot of damage with runners in scoring position this season, especially in conference play. Here's Waits 2-1. Another slider missing downstairs and outside. A 10-run lead for the Cougs. Can add even more with just one swing of the bat. Hitters count, put into play, down the third baseline, stepping on third, and a great pick at first by Anthony Greco. So it'll be an inning-ending double play with the bases loaded. Maybe that can spark something for William and Mary going into the 6th inning, because this offense has their work cut out for them, down by 10.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the Coastal Athletic Association, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 90,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's Freshly Grilled Cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's Pepperoni and Melted Cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale, the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
5 runs in the 5th for Charleston here at home. The fans loved it at Patriots Point. Now the job is do whatever you got to do in these final few innings to continue to be on the winner's side of the bracket. Give yourself a much better scenario than, especially in game 1, losing that game and then having to go the rest of the tournament not to lose. It's a tall task, especially being in this first game.
Yeah, entering that loser's bracket at any point is tough, but right out the gates, first game of the tournament, you're into the loser's bracket. That really puts a lot of stress on the pitching staff. That, one, do you have enough arms that throw in general? 2, do you have enough guys that can actually get outs? And just, again, puts a lot of unneeded stress on William and Mary.
Well, we still have Jake Brink in the game. Loves to go deep into his outings. 15 starts this year, had 10 of them go 6 innings or more. It's not a surprise that with this lead, instead of using a different bullpen arm, that, hey, if Brink can continue to go out there, Coach Holbrook has to think we're going to have him go as long as he can. Does have a few complete games, too. 0-2 count to Christian Rush.
Coach Holbrook always seems to find those guys, right? He finds his horse that can go out and get him 7, 8 innings on a drop of a hat. He's found it again with Brink.
Fanned on by Rush. That's his 2nd strikeout of the day, and 3rd for the man on the bump in Jake Brink.
Yeah, we talked about his lack of fastball control early on, but he started to get that back. But what hasn't wavered is that off-speed pitch. And once again, just gets another guy out in front. And that time it was Christian Rush not able to hold up on the swing.
First pitch swinging for Jamie Laskovsky, about 2 feet foul down the line, and would have been certainly extra bases for the freshman.
William and Mary, that dugout's just kind of scratching their heads. Like, what can we do at this point to get just a little bit of luck on our side? Everything we seem to do just not coming up William and Mary here. That ball, again, just sliced, just, again, outside the left field line.
Misses downstairs on the changeup. And even if you can get something here for William and Mary, just have such a higher positive outlook. Bring that morale back up. Skovsky grounded out to short and second in his 2 previous trips. One long run over at third and had to run about an extra 20 feet around the third base coaching box and still able to make the play as the freshman Landon Penfield.
Yeah, a lot of room in foul territory here, and that allows for those balls to get up in the air. And again, they're naturally going to spin back towards the field on these foul pop flies. And then they're also helped by the wind pushing it back in. And another nice running play from the third baseman.
Derek Holmes, he started out the 4th inning with a leadoff single in between first and second. One of 4 hits for the Tribe here today. They've only been shut out 2 different times this season, once during conference play against Elon, and then in a loss to East Carolina during non-conference play. Hasn't happened much. They're mostly the team that is doing the damage and shutting teams out at points and using that high-powered offense that has just been held in check to start out the postseason. All over to Penfield, long throw over, and another ground out. So a 1-2-3 inning after a long layoff from Jake Brink to keep a 0 on the scoreboard for William and Mary and a 10-run lead for the Cougars.
Sports is your home for CAA live game coverage all season long. Download the Flow Sports app.
Thanks for joining us here on Flow Sports for the 2025 CAA Baseball Championships. We're brought to you by Credit Union 1, as well as soldout.com. You get all of your tickets. If you're watching the game today and, hey, maybe for the weekend want to go down to Mount Pleasant, South Carolina and see this gorgeous ballpark, get some of the action, that's where you'll go to get your tickets. Griffin Della Penna here with Ty Comer, and Ty, after putting up a crooked number, 5 runs in the 5th off 6 hits. It's a steep hill to climb for the Tribe, and how Charleston has navigated this game, they're not satisfied just with the 10-run lead.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that shows in 5 straight innings of scoring at least 1 run. And again, yeah, not satisfied. An inning for William & Mary where they're going to have to come up with a 0. Like, it just has to happen. You can't give up much more ground than what you've already given. And if you've got any chance of coming back in this ball game, a 0 needs to happen right here.
Only other time they had a 0 was back in the 1st, a 1-2-3 inning for the starter Nick Lachey. Now it's Jack Waite, who came in and got all 3 outs in the 5th. That saw 3 different pitchers before we even saw that first out.
Yeah, and give him credit. He did a pretty good job. He got what should have been a double play ball that was thrown into right field, and then ends up getting another double play ball that turned out to end the inning. So a good job of Wade at kind of minimizing the damage, but College of Charleston just too much right now.
Landon Penfield hits that ball near the Charleston dugout. Foul. 1-2 count for the freshman. He's had his team high 8th home run into right center field near the scoreboard for his first hit after striking out in his first 2 trips. Freshman v. freshman. Another pitch missing outside to even it up at 2. Due up next, Dylan Johnson, who has 3 hits here today. Will Baumhofer in the hole. 3, 4, 5 for Charleston. Waite has a long look, delivers home, high and in, make the count full. And that's what's impressed me the most about Charleston, where these two teams met in the regular season. It was a 5-4 win in Game 1 against William and Mary, and since that, these two teams have went in polar opposite directions. You saw an 8-game losing streak for the Tribe and 9 out of the last 10 wins for Charleston. Ranging over, making a nice play, responding after the error last inning is Owen.
Would normally be a base hit up the middle.
Certainly these assistant coaches and scouting departments, whatever they look like, they did their due diligence in this game, because there has been multiple hits robbed just due to shading in the infield and even with the outfielders as well. Dylan Johnson. If they want to have a shift on him, they might have to put an outfielder on the other side of the wall. So he's had a fantastic day. Senior leader for this team. He's been a part of this winning culture year after year for Coach Holbrook. Hits a little chopper down the line. Laskovsky makes the play. On the left side, long run in. Wilson is called off by Laskovsky. He also had an error earlier, so still in this game for William and Mary, trying to make plays in the field.
Yeah, so Laskovsky has to come over and cut this thing off. Just with his angle, him headed towards first base, that was the only chance they were going to have, and he does such a nice job. No wasted movement. As soon as that ball hits the glove, it's out, it's transferred, it's thrown on to first base. And that was the only way he was getting that out, and he did a nice job of it.
Yeah, really seamless transfer. You get the ball out of the mitt. Baumhofer takes a ball. So he had a stand-up triple last time he was up. The ball deep into right center field. It was near the deepest part of the park. It was a long run for Ben Parker, and he almost got there in time. The leap was just not timed properly. And it was a stand-up triple for the Charleston DH. This Cougs team maybe not able to hang their hat on the home run ball, which they have done in years past. Only 38 entering the day, a lot more of them coming towards the tail end of conference play. But this is a gap-to-gap team. When you look at the amount of doubles that they had, 125, which was first in the CAA, and even with triples, they had 13 of those. So they had certainly no issues with extra base hits. It just maybe wasn't as much of the long ball. We haven't seen that here today. That's certainly played a factor. 3-0 pitch, and it's a 4-pitch walk for Baumhofer. Second time he has drawn a walk against the Tribe. After the walk issued by Waite, here's Avery Hughes.
I like the touch of both teams having walk-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives it that home feel for both sides. Other than a lot of maroon in the stands for William and Mary, probably feels just like home with those songs. Baumhofer with a solid lead at first base. Waite delivers home with the slide step. Just misses low on the off speed. Neves had an RBI single. That was the last run scored in the 5th inning. 5 consecutive batters for the Cougs came around and scored. Another ball down in the dirt. Nice block by Jerry Barnes. Already 2 outs in this inning for Jack Waite. It's been impressive to come in this spot, especially as a freshman, and probably told by this coaching staff, just keep us at this deficit. Do whatever you can. Try to get it done. Did it last inning, trying to put up the first 0 on the scoreboard since the first inning. It's a hard hit into center field. Parker ranging back, and another home run for Charleston. The wind helping the Cougs here at home, and it's the 4th bomb of the day for the College of Charleston.
And this one didn't necessarily have the trajectory of others. This one was just a line shot out of this ballpark. And once again, William & Mary thinks they're going to be able to get out of an inning. They get 2 outs, give up a 2-out walk, and all of a sudden, the 2-run homer hits right here.
Avery Neves with his 6th home run in the regular season came in the last weekend, and then just tacks on number 7. Tyler Sorrentino, after the 2-run shot, he gets plunked. See Jack Wade upset with himself, and hopefully Sorrentino is going to be okay.
I'm not sure where this ended up catching him. Oh, right on the wrist. He's got that protective guard on the elbow, but again, just human nature. You see a ball flying at you like that, you just kind of try to move out of the way. Maybe not on the wrist, maybe on the forearm area. Yeah.
Which is even worse, considering if it went up a few more inches, at least you have
you've got the
Evo shield there.
Yeah. And this is you know what makes it hurt even more? It never felt good getting hit by a pitch, but you're up 12-0. You're just trying to kind of not necessarily coast in, but like you've got it well in hand, and then you get hit by a pitch. It's just it's that much more frustrating.
It's a much different feel if it's a tie game in the 9th and
you
take one plunked in the bat. You feel great. You're helping the team.
That's right.
Anyway on.
You didn't need me to get plunked at 12-0.
No.
Yeah.
Alex Lacoste watches the ball on the inner half. Great mix of upperclassmen doing their job here today, and then also some of the young guns. That's what makes Charleston very dangerous this year as a 4 seed, but always in this tournament, a very tough out.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, it seems to be them, UNCW, and Northeastern at the very end, at the bitter end every single year. And once again, College of Charleston taking a nice first step towards maybe doing that again this year while hosting.
The regular season champs last year, that's why they were able to actually host this tournament. There's another hit batter by Jack Waite. So now 2 runners aboard with 2 down in the inning, and when it looked like here in the 6th they're going to keep Charleston held in check, there's a chance to tack on even a few more insurance runs.
And I understand the frustration here for sure, but that was a breaking ball that got him. Had no intent here. Yeah, just catches him on that back leg. And right now, this is Waite's game. This is his mess to kind of figure out a little bit. Had a nice start to this inning, getting the first 2 batters, and since then it's been walk, homer, and 2 hit by pitches. But you've got nobody warming in that William & Mary bullpen. So this is a situation where they're telling their freshmen, hey, you got to get yourself out of it. You did a nice job, but this is your game.
I have to expect pitching coach Brad Mincy right now is explaining a similar sentiment to the team is, hey, we just have to do whatever we can to get out of this right now, not use more runners. And looking closely at the game that will be following this, the number 3 seed Campbell Camels and the 6 seed Elon Phoenix, the loser of that game playing in the elimination game first thing tomorrow morning. So a very quick turnaround. Years previous, that was a game that was also played on the first day. The ADs got together a few years back and decided that, hey, instead of having a team go home on day 1, we'll at least shift that game, make only 2 games on day 1 and make 3 on day 2. I think that's a good move as well, but
yeah, a bit of a sour taste traveling somewhere to go to a tournament, staying in the hotel the night before the game, and then the next night that you're staying, you know you're going home the next day. It's a tough situation to be in for sure. I like the move to this format that we've got this tournament as well.
So coming out of the call to the mound, Ben Venables watches a called strike. 2 runners aboard after back-to-back hit by pitches. Jack Wade just trying to clean up this 6th inning and move on to the next.
You mentioned that game next, too. We might as well talk about it a little bit. I mean, Campbell, just such a great addition to the CAA, especially in baseball. They came in as multiple time in a row champions of the Big South and have made the transition well to the CAA. They're in the 3rd seed, playing well again this year. So a dangerous team there for sure. And then Elon, no matter what the seed is, they always play well come tournament time. I'm just always impressed by their squad and what they're able to accomplish come tournament time, no matter what seed they come in as.
It's a great little preview setting up the next game as Ben Venables is retired on the strikeout. So Jack Wade gets out of trouble, but not after the 2-run shot from Avery Neves. The 4th as a team for Charleston as they're up big, 12-0.
Look, Kelsey is a role player. She cannot lead a team.
Her handles ain't that good. I'm literally, look, you almost ripped her right there.
Y'all swear Kelsey Plum is a top player, but I don't see it.
She's a good piece. If Plum is your number 1 option, then you're not winning anything major.
What do you say to those that say you can't shoot a 3 that save your life?
Do it again, though. She can barely hold the ball. But I'm just not sold on.
She can't make that.
She's cooking.
Apologize. I ain't gonna lie, she nice.
Well, I mean, she is in the WNBA, so she gonna hit a few shots. She a problem for real.
Into the 7th inning we go between Charleston and William and Mary, and it is make or break time for the Tribe, as in every single game of this tournament the mercy rule is in effect. So if they don't get at least 3 runs right now, won't even need a bottom of the 7th inning. Charleston being the home team and trying to roll out their starting pitcher and get a potential complete game. That would be the 3rd of the season for Jake Brink.
Yeah, and doesn't that set you up for the rest of the tournament as well? I mean, you come in and you mercy rule the first team, and your guy goes complete game shutout. You had no stress. You never thought about even using somebody from the bullpen. And your bullpen is just fresh and ready to go entering the weekend.
Charlie Iriotakis starts us up in the 7th. He is 0 for 2. His last trip back in the 4th inning. Had a 3-6-1 double play. Charleston defensively one of the better teams in the conference at 4th. Ball hit to first with Lacoste, the quick throw over, and then Jake Brink able to finish it off at first.
Yeah, a little pinch hitter here, Henry Jackson. You saw the numbers there briefly on your screen.
Now a right-on-right matchup. Check swing, and he did go. Another strikeout, make it the 4th of the day for Jake Brink.
Yeah, hasn't necessarily gotten a whole lot of punch-outs, but has just done such a nice job of navigating this game. I mean, early on you had a bunch of barrels being found by William and Mary, but the defense picked you up. And when batters did get on, when you had runners on base, you just found a way to work around it.
And I think the most impressive part, too, is when the offense, it's always a give and get. Yeah, you love when the offense helps you, but then you have a long layoff in between pitching. So when you're able to have that run support, it's an awesome thing, but when you're in a groove, it's almost like I want to have runs, but then I want to get back out on the mound as soon as I can, and even with the long layoff, Brink has still been very, very effective.
and not a whole lot of barrels have been found as of late. We mentioned, how well William & Mary was hitting the ball early in the ball game, just not finding holes, but it has since been all brink.
Ball skied up, still trying to navigate it, is Johnson behind the plate. Long run over, and it's just been one of those impressive days with the bats in the field and on the mound for the second out here in the 7th.
Yeah, I've thoroughly been impressed with this Cougars ball club. They have just done everything they've needed to do. They've done the situational hitting. They've done the small ball. They've done the long ball, obviously, with 4 home runs on the day. It's just been impressive to watch. And then you've gotten the starting pitching out of Brink here that has just set your bullpen up for the rest of the weekend, and a good first step in the tournament.
So that was Anthony Greco, retired in foul ground. Now with 2 down in the inning, it's up to Jerry Barnes, who is 0 for 2 and had 2 lineouts to right field. 12-0 lead. Run rule in effect. Hard hit over, and the Tribe keep it alive. That was past the outstretched glove of Venables. Sending it down to Owen Wilson.
Shortstop number 21.
You just got to continue to do your job if you're William & Mary. Just try to keep this thing alive. Every guy's got to, just get it to the next person. That's your job. Get it to the next person, get the next batter up. And especially for Wilson, having the co-player of the year standing on deck, maybe that gives him an opportunity for a 3-run bolt, and it keeps you in this ball game.
Also for Wilson, he is grounded out to quote-unquote in the scorebook second base, but they've been right back up the middle both times. So you see Venables still shaded towards the middle to try to make a play. Barnes' single was the first hit for the Tribe since the leadoff man in the 4th inning. Now down 0-2 is Owen Wilson. Brink gets the sign from Johnson, and the pitch home. And we'll try it once more.
Brink just a strike away from a complete game shutout here to give the College of Charleston a good start.
Runner will go at first, and Barnes. Pitch is high, and they will not contest, even with the slide. So Jerry Barnes, he swipes a bag. He's now 3 for 4 on the season.
I don't think Dylan Johnson was ready to concede that bag.
No, he was not. He wanted to end it himself.
Yeah. Let me throw this thing down there.
Now it's 1-2 for Brink. And staying alive, so a great fight from Owen Wilson. Probably one of the best at-bats of the day for the Tribe, and prolonging the at-bat and at least trying to get a good pitch to Hunt.
Yeah, with all that room on the second base side, I know you've done a nice job of kind of staying up the middle and hitting hard up the middle, but it's just a lot. You're just trying to, sometimes you just have to try and guide it that way.
Swung on and missed. The 5th strikeout of the day is the biggest for Jake Brink, as he has a complete game shutout. And the Cougs find themselves in pole position so far in this tournament, advancing to the next round.
Just beautifully done by Coach Holbrook's squad. Off to the winner's bracket. Coach McCoy, quick turnaround like you mentioned for tomorrow.
Now it's time for our Jersey Mikes, a sub above play of the game, and we're going to go back to that pivotal 5th inning, and it was the back-to-back home runs between Ethan Plyler, Landon Penfield, and it was just, they poured it on in that inning to really take command of this game, put it out of reach, and Charleston, with having the bats rolling, the pitching, very, very impressive moving forward for the home team. So that's going to do it here for Game 1 in the 4 versus 5 matchup. Stay tuned right here on Flow Sports. As coming up next will be the number 3 seed Campbell Camels and the 6 seed Elon Phoenix coming at you right at 4 o'clock. We'll catch you here soon, and thanks on behalf of our entire team, Ty Comer, Griffin Della Penna, saying so long for now from Patriots Point.